Welcome to this explainer. You know, whenever I look up at one of those massive, sleek, glass-clad skyscrapers, I always kind of wonder, what actually makes it quote-unquote green? I mean, is it just slapping a few solar panels on the roof and calling it a day? Obviously not. So today, we're taking a masterclass approach. We're going to break down the exact science and the real-world frameworks used to evaluate and certify a building's environmental footprint anywhere on the globe.
Here's our syllabus for the day. We'll start by defining certification, then look at the mechanics of rating, check out some global pioneers, dive deep into the LEED framework, explore India's GRI system, and finally wrap up with the summary and impact. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Defining certification, the foundation.
Now, to really grasp this, we have to look past opening day. A true green building certification isn't just a snapshot of the finished product. No, it is a rigorous, ongoing evaluation of how that habitat performs environmentally over its entire life cycle. We're talking from the very spark of inception in the architectural design all the way through its day-to-day operations decades later.
Simply put, a building absolutely must excel across all three phases: design, construction, and operation. Think about it. You can have the most brilliant, sustainable design on paper, right? But if the actual construction process relies on highly polluting methods, or if the building turns into an energy-guzzling monster once people move in, well, it completely fails the test. It's the whole shebang or nothing.
Moving on to Section 2, Mechanics of Rating Systems, how it works. Okay, so how does the grading actually work? It's highly methodical. First, we assess the building against very specific criteria, like water usage or energy demand. Step 2, we award pre-assigned points based on how well it performs. Step 3 is just summing up those points. But here's the absolute linchpin. Step 4. That final rating is conducted by an independent third-party auditor. There's no developer bias here. It's all about maintaining strict scientific integrity.
All right, Section 3. Global pioneers, tracing the evolution. Green building is not some new overnight trend. Tracing the global timeline, we can actually see it kicked off in the UK way back in 1990 with BREEAM. Then the movement crossed the pond to the US in 1998 with LEED. By 2001, Japan brought us CASB, and fast forward to 2005, India launched its GRI system. If you look closely, there's a really fascinating pattern here. We evolved from these early, broad frameworks into highly specialized, climate-specific systems. And the underlying philosophies vary wildly. Just look at the stark contrast here. The pioneering BREEAM system from the UK relies on qualitative performance tiers, so basically grading structures on a scale from pass all the way up to excellent. But then you look at Japan's CASB, and they take a strictly mathematical approach. They calculate this holistic eco-efficiency ratio across the building's complete life cycle. It's two totally different ways of cracking the same puzzle.
Section 4. The LEED framework, a global standard.
Let's zoom in on LEED, which operates on a strict 69-point scale. Notice the heavy weighting here. Energy and atmosphere commands the most at 17 points, but it's very closely followed by indoor environmental quality at 15 points. This weighting is absolutely crucial because it proves a fundamental rule in modern architecture. Human comfort and aggressive energy reduction, they have to go hand in hand. You can't sacrifice one for the other.
So, based on those accumulated points, a building falls into one of these specific tiers. You're going to need a minimum of 26 points just to get your foot in the door and become certified. But from there, developers can climb to silver, gold, and finally, for those master classes in design achieving 52 to 69 points, platinum. That is the absolute pinnacle of sustainable design.
Section 5. India's GRI system, localized sustainability.
Now, building on those international concepts, we have GRIH, developed by Terry in 2005. And this proves that sustainability is definitely not a one-size-fits-all import. It's explicitly tailored for non-air-conditioned or partially air-conditioned buildings, which are super common in tropical climates. But here is the real kicker. A GRIH rating isn't forever. It's only valid for 5 years. That legally forces the building owners to maintain continuous operational excellence. Pretty smart, right?
Within GRIH's 100-point scale, they have certain non-negotiable criteria. I want you to look closely at Criterion 8. It literally mandates sanitation and safety for construction workers. This is brilliant because it ties human social welfare directly to the green label. So, along with enforcing things like ozone protection and strict energy reduction, you literally cannot get certified without satisfying these core, on-the-ground realities. Much like LEED, GRIHA totals up all its points, but it translates them into a highly accessible, easy-to-understand 1 to 5-star system. Securing 86 or more points out of 100 earns you the coveted 5-star rating. And what's great about this is that it provides a clear, instantly recognizable metric. Anyone walking through those front doors knows exactly the level of environmental excellence they're stepping into.
And finally, Section 6, Summary and Final Thoughts. Ultimately, whether we're talking about BREEAM in the UK, the intense mathematical matrices of CASB in Japan, the global standard of LEED, or the localized brilliance of GRIA in India, the core mission is exactly the same. These rigorous third-party certifications take these lofty, abstract environmental goals and transform them into strict, mathematically measurable achievements. It keeps modern developers totally accountable.
So, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder. As our climate shifts and our architectural technologies advance, the bar for what actually constitutes a green building is only going to get higher. So, will the next building you live or work in merely provide shelter, or will it actively heal the environment around it? Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and as always, keep questioning the world around you.